can predict people's outcomes based on how people value things so much, and then phrase it in a way that speaks to their values. So in the case of like cheating, for example, but cheating for a reason of XYZ, you don't focus on the cheating, but you focus on the why to the cheating. And if you really want to make up with someone, like, they understand that what circumstances got you to that position in the first place, and then corresponding to, like, where did it start, like, where did it go wrong, and then understand why that went wrong. If it went wrong because of the reason why you would do that, even though you knew that the other person that you're supposed to not do it with, and they knew, like, there was kind of like the predefined agreement, like, you already both know what the rules are. And if it was going to change, then you talk to someone, like, talk to the other person about it. So, like, I'm going to do this thing, but if they didn't respect that, then they don't respect you. Then how do you trust a person that would do that to you? I mean, they can gain respect back, but all depending on the circumstances and understanding why they thought it wasn't the right decision. I don't know. Too deep. But the core thing is that knowing people's values, you can use those values to determine how they might feel or how they might react to certain things. Like, being able to kind of know someone's values and being able to broach those topics, because there's so many different topics and thoughts on different things that people don't have to agree on the same thing, but also it might be someone cares about it more than the other person too. So they can easily be swayed to their side, not like it's like a permanent thing for them, or it's like a permanent thing where it's like, I already know this is right, and there's actually no discussion about what's right. Like, this has a clear side to it. I'm 100% sure. Like, I understand, like, the implications of the other side, but I also, like, it's not very strong. So prove me otherwise, but you have to have a really strong case. Then just have those types of values where other people are like, yeah, I'm very important on this side because... What are we talking about again? Oh, yeah. I'm just on this side because this XYZ was on this side type deal. And that's all I really know about it. They have memes over here. There's memes! How can we not deal with the memes? It made me laugh. Or just kind of like, I don't know, deeper insight, or someone was affected by something. And so interconnections that make these values, and then they're more valuable than the opinion, and then the overall view of, like, the overhead view of it. Like, sometimes it gets too personal, the way you're only doing it, like, for a personal reason and not seeing the big picture of it, or it's like, this counts. I'm just on here because it was an extreme case. I don't know. There's so many different things. They don't want to have it happen again. Lots of things. But, like I said, there's a lot of things to consider. And, like, you can more easily decipher these choices, or how someone might react, or what they hold valuable, so that you know how they would react. It's like, I kind of like how like, all my simulations of, like, how I'd expect to interact with this person would pretty much go. It's like, I kind of like this person. Easy. If I can, like, simulate it and, like, be able to, like, respond in... It's too computerized. But that's what this app is, kind of. Like, getting this data and, like, computerizing it into this raw form of, like, what makes this connection? And, like, is this part of this connection? Is being able to... Like, humans love to predict the future. We love to predict the future, and change the future. We like to manipulate our situations so much. Like, look, like, we had so much issue, like, a long time ago with trying to get water and shit. No one wants to find water. It's a whole big deal just to, like, run to, like, maybe, like, find, like, a specific person that dealt with, like, water in the town. Then, like, you had to, like, trade with them for the water resource. Or you had to go through the process of, like, oh, your every day is just to boil water and make it pure and blah, 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 blah. Like, fuck that noise. We got taps. We got taps full of water. We flush our excrement with fresh water because we can. Holy shit. Water was such an issue, but now we're good. No more water issue. We like to predict the future. We like to change the future. We like to live more comfortably. Being able to predict when water is going to come, holy crap, it's our survival needs taken care of. Like, all of our survival needs are basically mundane. Humans cheat the system. Humans are apex predators. We are not on the food chain. We are controlling the food chain. It's like anything we want, we have the ability to do. And more. And 1,000 times more than any other animal on the planet. In this universe, or in this galaxy. In this solar system. We are the intelligent life. And a lot of survival needs, we don't even have to worry about on a day-to-day. We're done. We're taken care of. Like, as long as us, like, humans stick together, we can do anything we fucking want to do. Go to the fucking moon? Hell yeah, we got the rocket ships for that. Let's design and think about how we're gonna get to the fucking moon. Fuck yeah, we landed on the moon and fucking came back. What up? How far have you gotten, apes? How far have you gotten, whales? We're out of our own planet. We do what we need to do. So when we say that, how do we connect people? Like, that's a different topic. That is a whole other thing. But we want this, guys, right? We want a dating app that connects people easily. Don't we? Is that not a thing we want to have? I feel like that's something we really need to have. Humans, let us come together. Let us fucking create this shit. It's not working right now. Why is it not working? Like, humans are apex, but we come with our own... We get very confused. Like, how do I explain this? I had the idea earlier. Just hard to relay. So, what's the problem? What's the problem right now in the dating apps? What are we doing right now? So, basically, we see the profiles, we see, like, the surface level of, like, a few prompts, and we get some profile pictures of the person. Cool. We can see, like, some of their stuff, like religion and whatnot, but how do we know how this person will, like, who is this person? Like, when I say who is this person, like, when you think of, like, one of your close family members, or just someone you know in person, or, I don't know, someone you've known for a long time and, like, had, like, long, like, you chatted about a lot of things. Like, you kind of know who this person is, right? You talked to him for a while. You got to get to know what they did in their life. They got to know how they react to things, what they liked, what they disliked, what they've complained about, what's going on in their life, right? You kind of know after a while, like you kind of know a sense of like what this person values, what they kind of like to do on the day-to-day, why they do things regularly, right? Now, how do you get to know someone like that in a profile like Hinge? How do you get to know someone on that level? You have to go on a date with them. You cannot... Sorry, that was just such a transition, but that's just a straight up answer. There's nothing to really hone in on like that level of depth. It's so surface level of everything. Like, pictures tell a lot about a person, but a lot of people don't take great pictures. They just live their life. They're doing the life things because they want to do those life things. Let them do those life things. But some things like aren't always like, it feels kind of awkward sometimes to take a photo like that. For me, it shouldn't be, I guess. I don't know, but it is. And because I don't do the scrapbooking, but it's also, the pictures are like a really good idea to like kind of memento your life, but a lot of people maybe don't want to spend the time to do that, or a lot of people even do spend the time to do that. Then that even evolves into another thing where people have the full accessibility to view other people's lives like that. People that are super photogenic like that, and like to explore their life and have these nice, awesome photogenic moments in their life. That's awesome. And people see that now and go I crave that in my life. It's what about it do you crave? That's what we're trying to find. Being able to see that, when people see that, they see what the other person craves. That's what the other person likes. That's why we're so connected to people with ambition. Because they're people on these social media apps are fulfilling their ambition. They are successful in their own life. Then everyone wants that success, right? Everyone wants to be successful. And that's why it's so attractive to see all these different lives that could be lived. But we never look at the life we can be living. And find out for ourselves what are we looking for? What life are we looking for? And when you're going into dating, you're trying to create a new life. You're trying to create a new experience. You're not going to someone for a specific experience. You're going to them for it's going to be a great experience. You want it to be a great experience. You want to live a new, try something new. Have that life of theirs intertwined with yours and create something new. It's not the simple. It's not a profile. It's not 3 prompts you've chosen. It's not a list of your top 5 favorite interests. It's not a lot of these things. A lot of the core things on someone's profile might not even matter too much to them. There's so many different factors into dating and connection that it's not as simple as this profile we are given. It's much more than that. It's even much more than super likes and filters and undos and roses and pickup lines. It's none of that. Everyone's living so many different lives now. We are the apex of our time, of our humanity. We have connection to each other in the palm of our hands. We can contact and voice call anyone we want in the world at the palm of our hands. And we sometimes use that in the wrong way. We're using this like as a substitute, a barrier, like always, like we have this option, we have this easy option in our hand to connect and disconnect whenever we want. If the connection, like someone, like a lot of that I think goes into like ghosting itself. When people ghost, they have such an easy option to just say, I'm done with you, and not see anything. They can just unplug from that conversation completely. It's out of their life. They could block, like you cannot even reach them anymore. They're out of like you from our own device. We are disconnected from them completely in life and digitally. Unless you can see them in person, or unless you know where they live, or unless anything. It's so easy to just like see someone on the phone and like never see them again just by simply not responding anymore, or disconnecting, or doing whatever. It's so easy because back, I'm sure like a long time ago, you didn't have that option. If you knew someone's phone number, you've probably seen them in person. Oh, you knew someone in person, you probably know where they live. It goes so like easy, like not easy. It's there's so many things wrong in our current dating system. We are only hurting ourselves at this point. Like, what are we, like, when we use these profiles, what are we trying to use it for? Like, what in the tools we are given, how are we using them? And we've seen it time and time again. We've seen ghosting. We've seen failed connections. We've seen just like this hookup culture that's so easy to connect and disconnect from, that you pull pleasure from nothing. From thin air, not nothing, but from thin air, like in the palm of your hand. It's so easy to pull it in if you wanted it. Not even that way, just not even that way. We don't even have that option. Some people do have that option. Some people are on that side of the fence. Other people are not on that side of the fence. Some people just, it's just the complete opposite of that. Like, I don't know how much to say about it. It's sad, really. Like, it's not working for everyone. It's not working a lot. We've seen a lot of this bad culture around dating right now, that with the tools given, it's frustrating to use. You're using it the best way you can. And I think women have the hardest time with these apps by far. Like on their side of things, I'm sure it's just like constant, it can be constant likes from all walks of life. Like you have a maybe 85% chance of swiping right on someone and like matching. But if I was a guy and just got, if I was in that same position, it's mostly bots. It'd be mostly bots at that point. Because it's never what I'd be looking for. Yeah, just bots in general. Like it's be someone fake trying to sell you something. It's like, it's too good to be real. Mostly. Like, that's how bad it is. It's like, I swiped right. It's like, holy, what? This is not right. I'm getting a lot of matches today. It's normally at like 0 or 1 a week. So this is weird. But women, I mean, like, they're getting all these likes, but how can anyone on either side know that if it's like a real good connection? You'd have to try it out, sure. Like, you could try it out, excellent. But everyone's living so many different lives and has so many different opinions that there's so many different things to be lean left and right on, and you don't really know how they're going to react, or you don't really know this person. And being able to relay who you are as a person nowadays is kind of really hard in like a couple dates, or just in general. Like, what do people really not like about this first date that it's consistently failing? Where are these factors coming in that, why was this not a good match in the first place? Where are we asking these questions and like trying to figure out what went wrong, right? So in that terms, like, everyone goes through dating, but let me know like what usually goes wrong in these cases. Like, I like this person liked me, that they seemed to go, but then like in these conversations that we had, like, where'd that spark die? Did that spark die at like attraction? Did that spark die as soon as they heard my voice? Did that spark die as soon as they heard some opinion that I had? Did the spark die of hearing what kind of lifestyle I lived? Of doing what I do? Where does that die? What level does this connection die? Or what level does the connection get made? Where does that spark get generated? How do people create these sparks that go into something new? What works for people? How do we figure this out? What are the factors that go into like success here? Like, I think a lot of it comes down to like living a lot of different cultures we have, or like a lot of different lifestyles, and being connected to so many people that we see all the different possibilities that humans could be. Like, before, we never had people never had the way to express themselves so easily. It's like, of course you're gonna like a lot of these people, right? But they never really maybe get the chance, or like, you never really think about the possibility of that being like a good lifestyle. Like, maybe it's not a good lifestyle for them. Maybe you can see that already. Then you're like, I actually don't want to be a part of that lifestyle. On the other side of things, right? If someone's not looking for you, then I think that's like a really helpful key of let people determine what they're actually looking for. Determine, like, be able to predict the future. Let's create, we know, like, have a good probability of that future being like wishy-washy. It's like, if you're up for like trying it, you can always take like, every relationship is a chance of creating something new. Every relationship is. Even like going into a relationship, you're always learning something about yourself, or like about another person. Like, seeing a different perspective. Like, living that lifestyle. But a lot of people are scared because we don't know where things are going, or like it's hard to see that other person's perspective, or understand their values, or something. I don't know. But, or like, being able to predict what they do. I don't know. Predict what they do, and like, oh yeah, I can predict that they'd pretty much consistently be a good person, or something. I don't know. Whatever predictions you can make. Humans rely on information to make predictions. We rely on some kind of input. Like, right now we're getting news that lets us know when things happen. That's our prediction. Like, we already know something's going to happen because we're told that these things are happening. It's like, then we can make our own determination of like how that future might be played out because of past events. So if we see patterns in our relationships, we can make helpful determinations of what path we want to go on. It's like, hey, I didn't like this thing. I probably should look out for this in the future. But I understand that it might not be completely bad, So if someone else ends up having it, I have some extra information on how that might go. And if it's pretty consistent, then you can mark it down as bad, and you can always mark that as like, hey, I'm not looking for a person that does this because I've actually consistently had a bad experience with this. But understand like where that like level of how you determine what is bad, but giving people the tools to like discover what these variables are, determine the bad, locate the bad, and then I don't know, like say I don't want that in my life. And that's what I kind of want to do with the like keywords. So the keyword thing is like a preference thing on like different aspects of someone, about someone. So like who they are, what they dislike, or what they like. Dislike and dislike is the same category. Then like hobbies, entertainment. So like go into different categories about the person and be able to filter down like what kind of lifestyle do they live? Do they like traveling every 5 to 10 years? Do they like traveling every year? Are they consistently traveling? Do they like traveling, like living in different states? Do they like to live out of the trailer, going like from state to state, doing like odd jobs? Do they have like to have a full-time job? Do they ride motorcycles? Do they go to concerts a lot? Do they travel specifically for concerts? Do they love a specific band? What the fuck is going on with this person? Like, what lifestyle do they leave? What will that interfere with your, like, being able to know what kind of lifestyle they live gives you information about what kind of lifestyle might happen between you two. It's like, oh yeah, if they really value going, like, traveling to these concerts every year, like, am I okay with that? Like, sure, if you're up for that, then you can either, like, even if you're not up for that, you can still offer to say, is this other person looking for someone that would actually want to travel for these concerts, right? It's something that they completely value in their life, and they do this every single year. They're not just going to stop or just feel bad that their partner can't come, or that they really wanted to have a partner that came. It's like they can still, like, they can have this option of determining how important that thing is to them to have the partner share in that. Because when you combine lives, you're going to combine the different things you like. And you want the other person to be a part of those things, like, because two things that are good make something great, even better. So being able to determine these options of, like, because there's so many different things to like and get into nowadays, that there's so many different instruments that people could be playing. There's so many different hobbies that people could have. There's so many different lifestyles they want to live. There's so many activities you could be doing. There's so many everythings. Like, there's a lot of things we can do. And not everyone can do everything. Or not everyone likes everything. Like, some people like to stick in one area than the other. Some people are all across the board. Some people are up to trying these other things. Like, some people aren't trying, like, don't want to try them at all. They tried it. They didn't like it. That type of thing. Like, all of our preferences are just tuned to us. And being able to share, like, determine these things and to share it with the other person would kind of be helpful. It's like this keyword search about, like, different terms about yourself. Just simply, like, you favor it, disfavor it, then how important it is to you, like, important, or it's a non-negotiable for the other person to participate. Oh wait, how important it is to you, and how important do you want your partner to feel about this? Then say if it's important or, like, super important. So it's like, if you don't like smoking, then you really want a partner that says, I don't like smoking either. Or it's like, I'm open, like, if someone's open to smoking, then they lean more on the positive side. Like, I'm willing to try it. So it's either like the mediums to, like, highs would actually try to match together in person. But then if the other person said they're not into smoking, but then don't mark as, like, a open to all, then it'd be a lower, like it'd be a negative point, but not like a super negative point since they didn't mark it as like a non-negotiable. Actually, no, it should still be like a super negative. It should still be negative, but you have to mark it as non-negotiable to instantly hide people. So that's still like they'd still receive negative stuff, like a negative connection for that. That's actually a really good idea for the math behind that. So they didn't mark open to, so that's a negative point if they didn't say they're open to it. But since they didn't mark a no or non-negotiable, it's still like a negative point. But if they marked it like it's important, that's a minus. That the importance like adds another minus. That's a good like first try for Unreal. I think the importance could be doing a lot more, but having it there just to kind of enhance, maybe even like be like worth two negatives. Because you don't want to instantly hide that, but it's important. So I guess importance would raise a flag and mark it as negative. No, yes, importance. Importance just adds the flag. Like that's a highlight of the profile. It's like it'll mark it as like a negative, but then just mark it as a negative and give it a flag on the account. And it's just like an instant flag. Like it's important. So I want to know about this on their profile. It's like when you view their profile, then you get to see all these flags of like, oh, it's important. Like we match in these 3 areas. Oh, it's important, but they put like open to. Maybe open to is like another thing too. Like open to would count as when you view their profile, open to. So da la la. I see. Oh yeah, we have 7 different things that I marked important that we disagree on. 7 different things that we agree on that I marked important. Then in the middle, you'd have the conflicts or something you marked important or unimportant. I guess you'd fall under like an orange, a red, yellow make orange, then a green and yellow make a lime. Sure. That could work. Yeah, split that like the maybes or in-betweens into the combination colors of flags. Then like show, hey, if you voted like this was positive and like you're open to it, they'd be lime green because they're more open to it. But then if they said they're like it's important that they don't or that they no, it's not even importance. It's their preference is they do not favor it. Oh, we still need importance. We still need their importance level. Yeah, it's still say their importance level, but they said no. So you said yes to, let's say, golf, and their importance or their preference was negative. Yeah, the importance flag is just for you to see on their profile. They don't need to know if it's important to you. They do. Yeah, they need to know the they need to know the importance. That's a really important one, to be honest. So I'm thinking because that importance was a checkbox before for me. Like a checkbox between like a non-negotiable and a importance to you. Because I kept bouncing back and forth between the importance level you'd want for a partner and this importance of yourself or preference of a partner would be prefer. Is it really condensed down to because you'd actually need the importance level. So if it's really important or not important, really important or not important, doesn't matter, or important. it doesn't matter. It does signify just not checking it. And not important versus important. And you need to lean into, you're for it, but it's not the, can you just make it into like a 2-stage thing on each side then? It'd have to be like, to get really condense that out down, you just do a slider. Say, I really don't like it, and I don't like my partner to do it, or I really don't like it and it's important to me. I don't like it and it's not that important to me. You're in the middle where the middle is always going to be, you're down to try. It's always going to be down to try. Because if you're in the middle, then you say you're not into it. You'd already be at like stage 1 of like, I'm not into it, but it's not important. Like, you just prefer not to do that. So if you're in the middle, you'll be willing to try it again. Because you already made your decision you're already going to make your decision that you'd be open to trying it. You're not saying that like instantly you're going to say no to the idea. But when you like, you'd already understand that like if someone went to you and said this thing, but like you have this value that they really are important on, then you have this like minor value. The other person gets to decide like, all right, can we work this out for this like minor thing? Because if we can work this out through this thing, I'm pretty sure we can get through have a relationship for sure. Like if it's this one thing that doesn't make sense that you can just you can ask about. It's like, hey, why do you actually think this? It's like, oh, la, la. Oh, I kind of get that perspective. All right. Because you already know their other values. You already know that, like, oh, yeah, they think pretty much the same. Or like, yeah, I don't understand how they did this, but did this? Let's get their perspective on it. And then, like, hear from them of why they actually believe that. And it's like, oh, you can like them or dislike them after that. But if you are like, if it's a close enough match, like you think you two would be great together, then I think it's worth giving it a shot. Like you'd be open to like listening to them more because you already know more about the person. You already know more about the person. And that's the idea of the thing. So have the 3, 4, wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 5-stage selector of not important or prefer not important, very important, prefer not important, open to trying. You can't be important or not important since you're already open to trying. You have no opinion on it right now. If it's, you can have right. I don't know of a specific case where you could be open to something and not like want to try it and have that opinion already since you haven't tried it yet. How can you have that opinion when you haven't tried it? I can't think of a situation like that. There might be small cases, but it's easier to kind of let that rule out. Like, just have it this way. It's easier. Then you have the prefer it, but it's not important. So that they'd be willing to lean the other way, or it's just not a big thing in their life, but they like to do it. It's like, can you really blame someone for liking something? It's very, very off if you did that. Because they like it for their own reasons. And if it's not important to them, like, It's not that strong. It's like, yeah, they like it. They agree with it. So, I mean, if you give them strong evidence against the other way, then maybe, but it's also, if it's not that important, then just stay out of it. It's not a big thing to them. They don't really care that much. Just leave it alone. And then you have the uh, favor, and it's important to them. So that means like it's a part of their life. It's a main thing they think. It's a main thing that they don't think there's another side to it, or it's like it's just a thing that they do in their life right now, and then that's what they really like, and that's why they really favor it because they really like it. And that should be like awesome to see, like pinpoint the areas where like in their life that they really find this thing important. Like this is an area in their life that's important. Like if you both really bond to music, then hell yeah, that is like a pillar of light right there to find out if there's that connection. Like if it's important to them, like awesome, we found a connection. That's our in. That's where we get started. It can be that pillar of light can be a lot of things. So find that pillar of light and make it easier. Like to find these gems of going like, hell yeah, that person. They match with every fucking pillar I had of what I was looking for. And this is it. I can truly believe that I think I found the one for me. Done. Why isn't there a tool like this? I want the tool. I'm designing the tool. I need to ask someone to build it. I need to ask someone to market it. I need to ask someone to manage it because I don't program. I tried to program a little bit, but it's going to take too long. I need this now. I need this yesterday. I need this last year. I need this back in 2012, 2013. Okay, Cupid got close, but no one was on board, or I didn't like everything about the dating apps are so hidden. Everything just like be what it is. Let's not profit off this shit. Let's let a community funded effort to like find love. Love should not cost a dime, a penny, a morsel. It's just everyone has access and like everyone gives back what they can. Like what was it worth to you? What is a relationship worth? Right? How much is a relationship worth? If you really wanted to find a relationship, how much would you spend to find the person of your lifetime? How much would that cost? Would it cost like $100? That seems a little cheap to find for that. I'd pay a lot of money to find like if I could. It's 100% guarantee to find someone. That's a goddamn priceless experience. You can't buy an experience like that. How can you? Something that valuable is worth a lot. And finding the like diamond in the rough, right? Finding that one person that gets you. Finding that one person that loves you. Finding that one person that means everything to you. How much is that worth? Exactly. So why are we doing this bullshit of, hey, here's our $40 subscription that I can filter some people with? Huh? You're meaning to tell me I'm paying $40 for this? I can super like people? Hey, I can get spotlighted for 30 minutes when to people that don't even want to find me. Some people that won't even like read the profile. Some people that like judge based solely on appearance, solely on the little profiles that are given, how can they know who I am? I get 3 paragraphs and then some checkboxes that you give me. How does this other person know who the fuck I am? If I gave someone, like, gave my profile to, like, a new job, like, hey, this is who I am, they're gonna go like, who are you? I have no idea who the fuck you are. Like, I know you love baseballs, but why is this important to you? It's like, oh yeah, my dad took me to a baseball game one time, then I ended up like going into baseball in elementary school, and it's a big part of my life back then, and I still like hang out with these other guys that still play baseball, and holy shit, you love baseball, don't you? Oh man, you're so cool. It's like, but when you get like a little prompt that says like people's attention aren't that big. And if they don't know anything about baseball, they're like, I can kind of relate to that, but it's not going to form that connection. Maybe it could. I don't know. If someone knew that, if someone knew that, there's no way. It's like you're passing over the good bits, and like that a profile is not all the good bits of a person. How do you define that? Like, especially like if it's a topic that you know about, at least somewhat, if you're open to it, like that might be a really good and like interesting story to hear. And like be able to connect with this person and understand this person. Want to be with that person. Want to know who they are. It's like that connection's invaluable. And how do we do that? How do we do that? All the things I'm saying. Please help me. We are apex predators. If we can fly to the moon, we can build a dating app. If you know how to dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball. Forming connections. That's a really good idea, though. So, steal the 5-stage preference level. Set your preference, or be able to select which answers you'll accept. So, if you like, no. Then I had to do the 3-stage or 2-stage. Right, you condense it down. You already condensed it down to very dislike, open to, prefer but not important, and prefer important. You can either keep the 3-stage one of if you like it or dislike it, but then keep the separate part where, yeah, I think separating it out is more consistent, but having it as the one is faster. So maybe we have both options. I don't know how people want to customize their like answering things. I think it's mostly down to like us to do that part, because I don't think anyone like really customizes the answers. Maybe they might in the future where we know this actually works and this is the optimization for it. So I think keeping things separate and then making optimizations later would probably be better. So still do the prefer not, open to, and favor. Then have a separate thing where it's either not important or important. Oh, that's what I'm doing everything OkCupid's done. Like, I think they thought about this already. Like, the OkCupid was a great idea, but like a lot of the questions were so disorganized, and I really want to organize that with the different categories that you can answer topics of. Like, they really scattered all the answers around, that you can't really get a good idea of someone based on all these different weird things. And also, you're not even able to match like any scale of the importance level, or like what's important to you, and like try to filter out using the questions, not just having that generated a match percentage, actually utilizing it in a way that you want to, instead of having a system determine what matters to me. Or like the match percentage based on what matters to me. Like, things don't matter all the same. There's a ranking system to what matters. And we gotta kind of we gotta compare that. But it's hard to do that when you can't easily show all the values the other person holds against mine. You have to compare. There's a comparison thing for a reason. RPGs have it all the time. We compare equipment to see, is this better? Would this work better for my build? Was this work better for me in my current situation? Like, we need to have a tool that lets us know what's right for me. What am I looking for in this search tool? What am I looking for out in life? What are the possibilities open to me? What possibilities could I generate with these different things? Like, think about these different lives, and if you want to live them. Not just, hey, you should probably try this. It's like, that didn't work. Oh. This one? What are you doing? I'm just going through the list, man. This is my job. Left, right, left, right. The stack is so big. There's so many people out there. If you spent like 10 minutes per, like 5 minutes per profile to try to get to know someone and try to make a snap decision on if you want to, it's just a start. Like, then you have to go through the process of like messaging them to get to know them. Then if they're not who you want them to be, then you already wasted 30 minutes trying to like deduce the same things that they could be answering questions for, and you'd be already compare if you could already match with them. So much time could be saved just because there's so many different lifestyles out there that people can agree or disagree on. So many different lifestyles open to us. So many different lifestyles we can combine and create. Link over something. Like, there's so many things to like. It's like playing Guess Who with a shotgun. And the board is the earth. Well, that's a bad analogy. But really, like, you're going to hit something's, like, you're going to hit a lot of things, but the one you want to hit is not right there. Or maybe it's, I don't know, maybe it's culture. Could be the culture, too. Just the instantaneous culture that we have nowadays. Like, we used to be able to not travel miles. Now we have the option to travel cities in mere like hours. Everyone can almost. Like, even like the bus system maybe is pretty good. I don't know. Ubers, we have Ubers. Like, go anywhere, anytime, just call an Uber, and then like it'll arrive right where you are and then take you wherever you need to go. Hey, we have planes, we can go to different things across the country. Hey, look, there's a cool city or restaurant that opened across the pond. Let's fly in a plane and go over there. Hey, look, there's a cool thing on the moon. Let's go plant a flag on it. Woo! Hey, look, I want to talk to my friend that's all the way across into another state. Let me call them real quick. Hey, dude, are you up? Oh, you're sleeping? Sucks to be you. I'm still living in the sun. Bye. Doo-doo. Like, we have all these options now that we have all these different connections we can make. We can make connections with everyone across different countries. We consistently interact and play with them in like games and business, and we connect everywhere all the time. Unlimited minutes for phones. Connect over internet. Watch things on TV live. Football games live. You don't even have to be there anymore. You can be there like you can watch it. You don't have to listen to a guy on a radio talking about it. You can actually see it for yourself, and all the cool effects and like the different statistics about the football is like there's so much things we have that were so much harder in the past. We had to spend so much time on something we love to do to get the like most enjoyment out of it. But now we have all these different things that bring so much enjoyment that it's down to like the good like raw like what it is and why it's good. Like we're so focused on that forget that some things don't matter as much as you think they do, or I don't know. What matters when something can be so easily replaced? What matters at that point? If you think someone's replaceable, then they're going to be replaceable. Is that what hookups is? Do you think they're replaceable? It's like another one every night, every week. I don't know. Is that the culture that they live in? Is everyone unique? Are you in it for like where does this hookup come from? Just fun? Like literally just fun? Like that's good. I mean, if you don't have to feel this connection to someone. If you want someone to do something specifically for an activity or just kind of like hang out with for the night or whatever, like if you're both into the same thing and want to do the same thing or have the same expectations of how the night's going to go or like what you might do with this other person, then fuck yeah. Like two consenting parties. Do whatever the fuck you two want to do. I don't care if three people, four people, as long as everyone's consenting, like do whatever the fuck you want to do. You know, not harming other people because that's probably like what our entire law system is based on. Like stop harming people, stop fucking with other people. Do it without interfering. Then you're good. Mostly. Then we got the mixed laws where it's like, all right, this is the line. Do we cross that line? It's like, all right, do we have a root thing of like why this thing's a problem? And that's a whole nother ballpark. We're not hitting home runs over here. We need a home run on our first base here. Or start base? Yeah, first base. And that's creating an app that gives people tools to connect with each other on the basic, try to get like a basic level or some kind of gauge. Like this is all experimental, and I think this is probably the easiest way we have right now. Because everything else you can't do too much with. Like we had some ideas that bounced around, like doing like the video calls, like kind of omegle like speed dating thing. Thought of a thing where I have a lot of other ideas of like how people can match afterwards. But at the base core, like what can we do that is the simplest thing we could try that would have the most input of like statistics and like data that could be rolling in of like determining these factors. And if simply put, like compare and contrast like what things failed, what things succeeded, and go from there. Like with that, you have people fill in like different measurable things about themselves, different measurable like connection points that could be made, measuring between like seeing if there's a consistent pattern in different areas that seem to match well. See if it's so inconsistent that these things don't actually matter in people's lives, that you can prove at least that to a way that you can say you could be living two separate lifestyles and still connect easily. As long as, is there like a consistent thing that is revolved around each of the connections? Is it that, oh yeah, people consistently match if they share what, more connection points, or connect about at least two or three or one different very important point that each side has? How much do values play into connecting people together? How much can you tell about another person? What do people think about having this insight of seeing what other people value before they connect? How do the people utilize these tools to try to connect with another person? How do people use these tools, or what's lacking in these tools that prevents people from connecting with one another? What's the factors that interfere with this connection? We're running on a bad connection right now. That, how do we, like, people have been talking about it for years. Like, people try to find the vibe, right? People want a vibe with someone else. You want to be on the same wavelength. We've been having these terms for so long that we have no definition for them. Like, we know how it feels. We know very damn well how it feels. It feels fucking amazing to connect with someone. But when you're on this level of you're not feeling the vibe between these persons, or you don't feel that connection, then like what factors go in that stop this connection? What happened that stopped this connection of, and what can, like, is there something that can be done about that? Is there something that can be done about it? Like, maybe every connection just takes time, and like, can all connections be repaired? Sure. What makes that initial connection where you want to try to keep that connection going? You have to have that initial burst or motivation to want to continue to keep that connection. And something fails, like when you go for the first connection, that's the spark. That's the spark that connects two people together. But then what point would that spark fail? If that spark was there, where does that spark fail in that line of what makes that connection, like, it connects at first, but then it's like a dying magnet, or each side doesn't have enough power to support another. It's like you're stealing energy away from the other person or something. I don't know. It's a good analogy. Like, some plugs aren't universal, and some require different parameters that need to be able to consistently connect. We're all our own battery. We run on different wavelengths, different power levels, different everything. There's always that, like, option of compatibility, or what makes that compatibility, what's the measure of that compatibility? How do we find that connection? Where does that connection get made? These are all questions I want to find. There's so much discovery to be made, and I think we can make it. I think we have the computer power. I think we have it. I don't think it should cost that much, but maybe I'm wrong. I need to talk to a programmer, database guy, or like someone that knows how to get this thing off the ground, because I have the ideas. I just can't execute them. I need people. Because if I did it myself, sure, I can do it myself. I could do it myself, but I don't have the skills right now. I tried programming or following a tutorial for Flutter for half a month, and then I got stuck on this part where it did some networking, where he just started going off into, like, he never even, like, showed how to install something or set the thing up. He completely skipped over, like, yeah, this is backend server, it does the server things. Now we're doing the coding for this. See? It's like, wait, hold on. I need that backend part of that. Go back real quick. That sounds like you skipped over something really important that was probably hard to explain. Where is that hard to explain? Why are you skipping over this? Oh no. I think I need to find a new tutorial, because I kept watching a little bit after that. Then I couldn't follow it in my, like, I really need to play with something to understand it. And watching him just like type in random code that he never explains tells me nothing. It just tells me enter these commands and it'll work. It's like, no, I programming involves the logical process of how things connect together. It's object-oriented programming, and all the objects are just question marks of what they are and what they do. You're just plugging in different outlets, and then it's like, see, it works. It's like, what? So I didn't like that. And then I couldn't find another good tutorial. Then I started trying to build my own the app itself, and I played around with like gradient bars and like when going through the selection system and trying to work with ChatGPT to program the thing. And my God, like I got Andy AI, or what was it, Cody AI to like built into the programming application to try to help me fix my code or add different features, but then it like added a feature and then broke the code, and I said fix it, and then it didn't fix it, and I said fix it again, and it didn't fix it, and I undid everything. So I think ChatGPT is a little bit better. Cody's like really good for like answering in question things, but you have to really use it as a coding assistant and not have it say do this for me. So then I thought about doing like a Fiverr thing. So see maybe if someone knew how to program or do database stuff or concepts, UX, UI things, or maybe even like marketing or something. I don't know what route is the best. My best route right now is, I think, just trying to build a team to get this in. I think doing the initial investment in this would be great. I'm not sure how easily it would be to get people on board with the idea. But also, at that point, how do you build that team to be able to understand the complex nature of this, and also the nonprofit side of it, where people actually go on because they want to support this thing, and people actually have the knowledge to actually support this thing. Then also losing control about like our main focus on how to proceed with this thing. So it's very important that it's community oriented, but also that it needs to have some direction. Because I don't want it to evolve into this money-making behemoth at all. I want it to be locked down to like, it can only be what it is. It can't be for profit. It can't like hinder people from connecting. It can't do anything that hinders people from connecting. It can only be like purely aesthetic things, can be purely like supportive things, can be purely like helping within the dating community things or relationship connecting. Support our goal of being able to make connections. It can't be in any way hindrance to that. Anything that does that is off. Like I thought about ways where we could do like local hosting of events where someone like a restaurant could like host an event for like extra business to like make that night especially for a dating event. Then they could sponsor the event by paying the app some money. That's like a dating thing. I don't know. Make a game out of it. Or make it fun. Like it can't be just strictly for profit. It's just bring in business. Like this is dedicated for this type of event. And have fun with it. Or like app borders, like you can customize your profile. Maybe that one's borderline. Or just I'm really just open for like general support. If someone actually got a date and like found their lifetime partner, it's like, hey, come on, could you, or not, come on. Hey, could you, if you want to support us in our vision, then you can. If it worked out for you, we'd love to see or have your support. It was whatever they can offer, like, because the relationship's truly priceless. Like you did, and just if the app helps, like it can help other people, and we need the money to support and be in this type of area of like we really want to do as best as we can, and all the support we can get to reach this vision, to have what you have, like anything helps toward that. Oh my voice. All right, but yeah, that's a whole thing. Thanks for listening. Yeah. Support my dream. Waylif, who are you looking for? I gotta talk to a programmer eventually. A couple days. I gotta find one. Alright, I gotta figure out what's best step. Like, who to hire first. Do you hire the social media or social influencer to try to rally people on board? No. I want more control, so I'm willing to pay the programmer to get the app running because I want a concept thing up before I do marketing on it. All right, start getting the concepts, get marketing in as soon as like there's a product, or like go back to the pull team to see if there's any marketers on hand. Then, like, as we're getting built, like be able to post content about that. But then when we get it built, we need to bring in people to try it or like show it off, and like I think just being able to do that before it's built and like showing the features or different product concepts and like showing that it's free to do, and like just trying to support my vision or the vision of connecting people, and it's a big plan. It's still going. I'm on step one. I think that's the plan though. That's a good plan. There's a set in between where there's gonna be more people. If a lot of people are interested in it, then I want to be able to have them support it in a way. Like, how do I do the like donation thing? Do I set up a donation thing? I don't know. Do I wait for donations? Are donations okay? Can I set up my nonprofit? When can I set my nonprofit? I need board members. Where do I get to the board members? Big thing. Big thing. So, you gotta think about a lot of things and try to get it running. Here's the project. Is the reason microwaves are... Do microwaves penetrate, or do they just heat the outer surface? Because Google says that I asked it if microwaves cook inside out or outside in, and it said like outside in, and the internal is just getting cooked by like heat transfer or heat conduction. So I thought like it just kind of boiled from the inside and like steam and like cook faster internally, but I guess it is just the outer layer that can get like, heated. I mean, what kind of outer layer are we talking? Are we talking about the outer layer of the food itself, or does it heat the bowl to... I don't know how microwaves work. Have to ask ChatGPT. Microwaves are fantastic, nonetheless. Heat up food with motherfucking science. Blast the food with microwaves, and then it heats. It's like, what a genius. Science at its best. For it is modern day magic. It makes our lives so much better. All right.